Welcome back, everyone. Well, you know, let's face it, we live in an era of motorcycles and snowmobiles, all these things that are powered by motors. When in reality, if you think about it, there's a lost art out there, which, by the way, is becoming much more popular these days.
Absolutely.
Bicycling. We see a lot of road races in our 3 counties, and we see a lot of people who just enjoy getting out and going for a ride. So we found an organization that's dedicated to promoting bicycling on a lot of different levels. So I want to welcome Joan Jenkin.
Thank you.
He's the secretary of this organization, and Lloyd Mott, who's the chairperson.
Thank you.
And I'm going to give a shot at naming the organization. You had to pick a long name, didn't you? Warren County Safe and Quality Biking Organization. Can you say that 3 times fast, or no?
That's right. It started out as Safe and Quality, and it grew when we were adopted by the County Board of Supervisors.
Yeah, so you get involved with the politicians, see what happens soon.
And you have to include everything.
Well, you know, John Strow, I know, is very interested in bicycling. He's worked a lot with you, right? Yeah.
John's one of our officers, assistant chairperson.
All right, so you want to know something? Let me start with you, Lloyd. Tell us a bit about the organization. You started in 2010, and what's the mission?
Our first mission, our original mission, and still our basic goal is safety. Improving the safety for bicyclists and for motorists. The day we started, several people who are road bikers said, you know what, we almost got hit today. It was dangerous, and we were afraid. So we said, why not do something rather than just complain about it? So we started this education program, not to just educate the motorists, but also to educate the bicyclists.
Right.
To the rules of the road and things they should be following, because again, ultimate goal is safety.
Well, you know what? And again, unlike runners, right, who are on the left side of the road, if you're bicycling, you have to be on the right side of the road along the lines that it is a vehicle in a sense, and you should be following the rules of the road by staying on the right-hand side. And before we went on air, you were telling me that drivers actually respect bicyclists more if they are on the right side of the road.
Right.
Is that true?
We do think that our endeavors over the years, plus across the country, the number of people who do the same things we do in publications, et cetera, that many people are getting the idea, share the road. You can even see the share the road signs.
Yeah, you see that a lot.
While we're riding on the right-hand side, because we're with the traffic, I think the motorists they're starting to say, okay, they are a vehicle. There are rules of the road, legal rules of the road, that state what the rights of the bicyclists are and what the rights of the motorists are and how we should share the road.
Right, got you. Now, Joan, you were mentioning that you, as part of the education series and promoting safety and lifestyle, right, that you go around different organizations, different schools, and give talks on it. I believe you told me there was a film at Crandall Library, right, dealing with this.
There was a fellow that did, or the 2 fellows, the Constantino brothers did a cross-country trek on their bikes, and they one of the wives filmed the whole trip, and it was amazing what they went through. But it also brought the fact, and that's what they were doing it was for, to promote safety, because some of the roads were not safe, and some of the big trucks that they had to deal with, and it was very well attended. There were probably over 100, 120 people that did come, and we had a good discussion group after. It really buoyed up the fact that bicycling is important, and
well, you know, there's so many aspects to it that are appealing. Again, before we went on air, we were talking about this. You know, bicycling, if it's a race is a race, right? But if you're going for a ride, that whole sense of peace of mind, solitude, listening to nature around you, getting some exercise, all of these things, not all that different than swimming in a lot of ways, right? It's just such a wonderful thing to promote in an era, like I said, when we started this, get another motor, get another motor. Well, how about no motor? You know what I mean? You've ID'd 4 rides this summer that we like to share with the viewers, right? So let me start with you, and I'll get to you. Okay. What are the 4 rides this summer?
Well, the first ride is bike and boat, and we're teaming up with the Lake George Association and their floating classroom boat. So we'll ride from the parking lot in Country Club Lane out to Lake George Village to the dock, and we meet the boat, and we go on a two-hour tour of the boat, we're, talking about the environmental issues of Lake George, and then we'll bike back.
That's a wonderful organization,
There's
LGA.
two rides available so that people can come with families. We're
Yes.
encouraging that, and it should be a good ride.
Gives new meaning to surf and turf,
Good
doesn't
start.
it?
Second one is, did you want me to talk about the second
Yeah,
one?
good. Let North Creek
Second
Thermal,
one
'cause
is a more
challenging.
that's a more challenging one, and it won't be so much for families, but it's great when you're riding around the Glen, Thurman, Pottersville, or no, not Pottersville. What's the other?
North Creek.
North
North
Creek,
Creek,
that
sure.
area. It's absolutely beautiful country.
It sure is.
And it's country roads, and so you don't hit an awful lot of traffic. It should
And
be
then
very
you've
good.
got one that runs around Bolton, but I want to talk about the last one, Lloyd. Elke.
Okay,
Harry Elke.
right.
Who's he?
Harry Elke is a gentleman that we've learned of recently due to John Stroud. Let's give John credit. John is a history,
Yeah, he
former
sure
history
is.
teacher and history
That's
buff.
right, he sure is.
And he found out about Harry Elke, who was a world champion rider around late 1800s, 1900, who set records. And very interesting when you think about how the bicycles looked in those days and try to race them. And so anyway, Harry was born in Glens Falls. He's buried in the Glens Falls Cemetery with a tombstone with a big sprocket on it. And with this history and what we tried to promote, you know, healthy lifestyles, bicycling, alternative transportation, etc., we said, here's a natural. Let's have our theme ride, our final theme ride, our big ride annually, which is the only ride that we'll do every year. The other ones will all change to promote the various parts of Warren County and even Washington and others as well, somewhat. Is the Harry Elke ride, because of what he has accomplished and because he's a native of our area, we are calling this the Harry Elke annual ride. And when we did it last year for the first time in mid-September, it was a gorgeous day. You always want that.
It was
Yeah, you
perfect.
do.
It
And
was
we
perfect.
had 50 to 60 riders.
Maybe not too much humidity. Let's
Oh,
let's start there.
And they all came back just raving about the ride.
Yeah, nice.
And you know, the nicest thing is we start and stop at the hub. One of our members started a business that it's fixed bicycles, and it's a little, you know, food place and beverage place. But it's built for people that want to hike or bike or do anything up in that part of the country. Well, we start and stop there. When the people got back, it was so nice to hear the things they were saying about, oh, we're so thankful for the work your group has done, not
that's
just this
nice.
ride. So rewarding.
Well, I think it, you know, I mean, you get the gist here. What a wonderful alternative to some of the things that might come to mind first about what to do when you get out into our counties, especially in the summertime and the shoulder seasons. And the fall is a beautiful time to ride because it cools down a little bit. But I can tell you firsthand, it's a wonderful thing to do with your family. It's a bonding to this when you're riding and you're talking
absolutely.
and you're going along and there isn't the noise. And, you know, for the most part, drivers are pretty courteous. Every once in a while you get somebody, you think to yourself, uh-oh, look out. But again, this is an organization that you really need to check out. I'm going to try the name again. Warren County Safe and Quality Biking Organization. Well, Joan, Lloyd, thanks a lot for coming in. Have a great summer. Be careful out there and get out and do some bicycling.
absolutely.
Thank you. See you on the road.
Thanks a lot.
You got it. To see this interview again, you can head to our website, looktvonline.com.